Hey everyone, Andy Griffiths here. I am back. It's been a long time since I've done a video like this, a Facebook video, a Instagram video, a YouTube video. It's been a while. If you're one of my clients, then of course you would have received a personal video of me every single week. But if you're not one of my clients, you may have wondered where I've been. Maybe not. If you have wondered where I've been, if you've missed me, then I've missed you too. And I love that you've missed me, and I love you. And I have some amazing news for you. I'm back, and I will be doing these videos every single week. I've previously just not had the time. That's why I've not been doing them. I've just not had the time. But what I've done is I've managed to free up some time in my week, in my schedule. And what better way to fill that time than to do these videos, to provide you guys with some really useful tips and tricks. And I'll be doing I'll be doing some videos which are just simple tips, but also other videos which are more along the lines of breaking down the science. It will be a mixture, but each video will be pretty awesome. Today's video, mostly I just wanted to get that across, that I'll be doing these videos every week. I'm back, and this is very exciting, and I'm so excited. But I also wanted to provide you guys with some tips. Three things to focus on when it comes to fat loss. The first thing, the most important thing I want you to focus on, you probably already know that's what's coming, is calories. In order to induce weight loss, we need to be in a caloric deficit. We need to be consuming fewer calories than are required to maintain our current body fat, maintain our current energy stores. Now, in order to create a deficit, there's many ways you can do that. The more simplistic ways of things like looking at what you're currently eating, the size of your meals, and just reducing the size of those meals. Or look at the amount of meals you're having and consume few meals. That's very simple strategy and can be a very effective one. If you want to be a little bit more accurate and you want to ensure that you are in an appropriate caloric deficit, then the best thing for you to do is actually track your calories via an app like MyFitnessPal. I love MyFitnessPal. It's a really good app. And one thing I really like about MyFitnessPal is it's very empowering. So if you loosely track, or you don't really track, you just try to consume fewer calories by eating smaller meals, or generally steering towards a more healthy diet, which should naturally contain fewer calories. It sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. If you take that approach, you will probably consume fewer treats. Now, if you track what you eat, use something like MyFitnessPal, then you will be able to squeeze in plenty of treats. Because what will happen, this happens a lot, and anyone who's used MyFitnessPal will have had this experience, is, let's say I want to stay within 2,000 calories. I come to the end of the day, I'm on 1,800. That's an amazing feeling. I can now squeeze in the odd treat. I can squeeze in with that 200 calories. I can have a Freddo. I could have something more. I could have Freddo and a very small, low calorie packet of crisps. I can have some fun. And when you track using something like MyFitnessPal, it gives you that power. It's really good. Second, perhaps most important thing to focus on is protein. When it comes to fat loss, when it comes to body composition, when it comes to muscle building, protein is your best friend. protein is the most satiating macronutrient. And when you're in a caloric deficit, you want to have a diet which is as satiating as possible. You do not want to be too hungry. It sucks. It's not sustainable. So you want to provide your body with you want to consume a decent amount of protein. It's very satiating, and you just won't be that hungry if you consume a decent amount of protein. Also, we've got to look at when we're in a caloric deficit, we've got to maintain muscle mass, and therefore we need to consume a decent amount of protein to maintain muscle mass. If we're not providing the body with a decent amount of protein, then it's going to want to get protein from other areas, i.e. breaking down muscle tissue using the protein from there. That's known as muscle atrophy, muscle wastage. It sucks. You don't want it. You want to maintain muscle mass when in a deficit, or even build muscle tissue. You can build muscle tissue when in a caloric deficit. It's not easy, but it is possible. It is doable, and many of my clients are a testament to that. And finally, resistance training. Resistance training is incredibly important. People think of resistance training just to build muscle tissue, just for people who want to increase mass, get stronger, build muscle tissue. But it's so important from a fat loss perspective. If you're not consuming a decent amount of protein, if you're not stimulating your muscles via resistance training, then you will likely have muscle atrophy. Your body will break down body fat, but it will also break down muscle tissue. Your metabolic rate will drastically reduce, and your calories will need to be super low in order to induce weight loss. It's a very, very unsustainable approach. What's sustainable is tracking your intake, consuming a decent amount of tracking your intake to ensure that you're in appropriate deficit, consuming a decent amount of protein to ensure that you provide the body with enough protein to maintain muscle mass or even build muscle tissue, and doing resistance training. I'm a huge fan of full body training. Each session, so 3, 4, 5 times per week, training the entire body. Really fun sessions, and it's a very effective way of building muscle tissue. So full body training, when we compare it to more conventional training splits, say for example you're doing chest, a more conventional training split is like a bro split, where you're doing chest and tries one day, back and bis another. It's nothing wrong with that split, but with full body, there's so many benefits to full body. You get much more frequent spikes in muscle protein synthesis because you are hitting every single muscle group much more frequently, but also, most importantly, it attenuates individual body part fatigue. Let me contextualize that. If you was to train just your chest in one session, after the third or fourth, fifth chest exercise, your technique is compromised. You're not able to handle a great load. You're not able to get good quality reps or quality sets. Whereas if you was to spread that chest volume out through the week, there's going to be much less fatigue there. You're able to handle a much greater load and ultimately lift more throughout the week with better quality reps and sets, and therefore get a greater hypertrophic muscle building response. So those are 3 great tips there. If implemented effectively, consistently, habitually, can elicit a incredible body transformation. Next video, I'm unsure what I'm going to talk about. I'll think about that through the week, but it's going to be an amazing video, whatever I talk about, I'm sure. And I'm back. Every single week I'm going to be doing these videos. It's very, very exciting. Stay tuned. I will see you next week.